Well, good evening, everyone. It is Dawn with Shall We Stamp, coming to you from hot, sunny Florida. Well, it was sunny, but look, I'm even wearing sleeveless because it was 80 degrees today. Ooh, I love it. So let me bring the comments on. Oh my goodness. So it was a wonderful day here in Florida. Let me turn my camera a little bit. Oh, let me turn it this way so you can see me. And you can see my messy room behind me, but that's okay. Oh, I guess I better put my microphone on, huh? I always forget this, probably because I talk loud anyways. All right, we'll wait for everybody to come on. As you're coming on, please tell me where you're joining from. Most of you that are here I probably know, but if not, just go ahead and tell me anyways. I'm getting old and forgetful. This is pretty sad. I lay stuff down, then I can't remember where I put it. So, anyways, I'm a little bit early, so we'll wait for people to come on. I should start seeing comments here in a few minutes. They run about 15 seconds. There's a 15-second delay. If you're watching this as a replay on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching it on Facebook, make sure that you like my group page. And then if you go to my business page, which is Shall We Stamp, you may like that as well. And that way you'll always get information from me whenever I post something. Okay, so let's see. I feel like I'm always looking up. Oh, there's Karen. Hi, Karen. I fixed it now. I loaded an app that I needed to have for the comment picker. They have one for groups, and I loaded that, and now I can see who all is posting and what they're saying. So that's a good thing. So I didn't have to get my husband to draw names. So anyways, welcome. It'll be, we're going to give it a few minutes because I was a little bit early. I figured since I was sitting here, I might as well just go ahead and pop on. And we got comments coming on, so we'll get going here shortly. And so what's happening down in your neck of the woods? Anything exciting? I feel like you know, I'll be so glad when I'm not old enough to get the vaccine yet, but oh my God, I can't wait till my turn comes. It'll probably be summertime, but I just want to get back to some sense of being able to go out and see people, you know? It's just, this is crazy. It's been a year. It just, I mean, it seems like it, but it doesn't seem like it. So, okay. I have a Facebook user that says, great news. Who is that? Oh, man, now it's not telling me your names. What is going on? I fixed it. Now I've got everybody popping in, and it's now saying Facebook user. So what is going on? I was saying that I downloaded an app for my group page so that it would tell me who the guests are. And I'd be able to see your comments, and it still says Facebook user. So I guess it's going to show me when I go back to the site, I can actually see your name. So, all right, you're going to have to put your names in. I know, go Bucks. Yay. So when y'all come on, if you please just put your, you don't have to put your name in there, but I won't know who's talking to me. I'll just say Facebook user, but when I go back and look at the comments on it, I'll be able to see it. So it's no big deal. No big deal. I know who you are when I go back and look at the comments. Not a biggie. So, anyways, the weather was nice, and I told my husband I was sitting on the lanai eating lunch, and I was hot because the sun was beating down on me, and I thought, I do not want to start complaining that it's hot because it's been cold, and I don't like cold. So, I bit my tongue, kept my mouth shut because I wasn't going to say anything. I didn't want to jinx myself, but we are supposed to get rain the next couple of days. So good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. For those that are joining, and if you haven't been here before, I'm Dawn Duval. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am celebrating 10 years with Stampin' Up this month. Can you believe that? So I should do something special. I should give y'all something, but I don't know what. So anyways, So I'm celebrating 10 years with Stampin' Up. I had no intentions of doing this like what I'm doing. I was working and I did a couple of classes for friends. We just got together and made holiday cards and something else. And I just did it for, then after 8 months of going to attending a club, I decided I was going to do it so I could get a discount. And hi, Amy in Virginia. So I joined to get a discount and didn't do anything for about 2 to 3 years until we moved to the Villages. And then I signed up to teach classes at one of the rec centers. And that became very popular. So I signed up for a second one, and I was doing 2 different rec centers twice a month. Anyways, twice a month at both rec centers. So every Wednesday I was teaching classes. And my ladies are more for the social, not big buyers. Hey, Rosalie. Not big buyers. Some of them are, but most came just to create the cards. They didn't really have a lot of supplies. And more for the friendship, and so that's making it a little bit harder for them to stamp. So, but we're trying. I'm trying to keep them busy. Welcome everyone. I'm just going to sit and chit chat with y'all for just a couple of minutes, and we'll let a few more people pop on, and then we'll go ahead and get started because it's 7:05. But I'm thinking in addition to doing this every Tuesday, I'm thinking I might do a Zoom class once or twice a month just for free so that those that have supplies, you can come and join. And if you want to stamp or work on something, we can do that. Or I may do like a sketch, send you a sketch type thing, and then you can use that to figure out what you want to make and then bring your supplies and make that. So I'm thinking that might be something just to get together so we can see each other face to face. Because I can't see you guys. You can see me, but I can't see you. And I think the Zoom thing would be pretty nice. My best friend, my BFF, she was my guinea pig for doing a Facebook party. And we did that. And it was a lot of work for behind the scenes because it was all pre-recorded. I did several videos that I pre-recorded. And then you pre-schedule everything to post. And we tried to keep it, energetic and going. And it was a lot of fun. We didn't have as many, people on there as we wished we would have had, but it was the first time I did it, so it's okay. So if any of y'all are interested in doing a Facebook party, think about that, because you can invite everybody and anybody, because you're going to watch from the comfort of your home. I do all the work, so all you have to do is do what I tell you to do, and that's to get a list of people and invite everybody, and I even give you the prompts of what to say and how to email and all that stuff. So, and it can be fun, and we can do different themes. So if you're interested, let me know. Keep that in mind. But it took us, I think we ran about an hour and 20 minutes. So by the time I did my last hoorah, and we left it open for 24 hours for people to place orders and stuff. So about an hour and a half. So I didn't think that was bad, but it was fun. And, I learned some stuff, and we'll have to tweak some things and all that. So, but we had a fun time. So, okay. Well, as everybody's popping on, hi, Sharon Johnson. How are you? Sharon and I used to work together. Oh, my gosh. Let's see, 1980. Let me think about this. No. hang on. It was First Virginia. 1978, if I'm not mistaken. 1978. I was like, how old? 19? I graduated, I'm 62, so I graduated in 76. I was 18 just before I graduated. So I guess it was 18 or 19. And Sharon and I worked together for, I don't know, a year or two and stayed in touch, and then we all went our separate ways. So anyways. All right, I'm going to turn the camera down. So let's go ahead and let's get started. I want to show you one thing, and you can, I put a video on my blog, on my YouTube channel yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. This is an explosion box. I just want to show you. I was going to show you how to make it tonight, but I thought, no, it'll take too long. I've already got 3 cards. But I want to show you this. I copied this from Rhonda Wade. If y'all know Rhonda, her stuff is very, very simple and easy to make. So this is a cute little box, and I thought I'd share it because Valentine's Day coming up. So if you want to do something special for your significant other, this doesn't take a lot of work to it. So here's the little box. okay? And I'm going to undo the ribbon. It's an explosion box, so you can go to my YouTube channel and watch how you make it. And then, ta-da, it opens up. And then there's a little love note. And I'm using the Hearts and Kisses, the one that has the lipstick and the lips. Isn't that cute? I'll get it up here. It's a little bit darker. Let me get over the camera. Isn't that cute? And then I put a little note in there. And then I put chocolate kisses. These are dark chocolate, so it's all kind of purpley. But it's really easy to make. So watch my, go to YouTube, Shall We Stamp on YouTube, and I'm going to turn back this way. Watch the video, and I'll walk you through how to make it. It's very simple, and then, look, there's no gluing it other than you make your lid. So that's it. That's all you have to do. And I'm going to put my ribbon on afterwards. But I just thought I'd show that to you, and then you just decorate the top. And I use the Oso Ombre paper, and we stamped on that. It's pretty easy. So anyways, just thought I'd share that with you. If you need something quick and easy, there you go. All right, so tonight I thought we would make cards using very little stamping, but trying to use up our pattern paper. And these should be pretty much anybody, as long as you've got a few supplies, you should be able to do this. Now this is the True Love Designer Series paper, and this is the one that's all black and white, and it's got, you know, different types of flowers and diamonds and stripes and different size flowers and stuff. And all of our paper, as most of you all know, is double-sided. So I thought this was cute, and I cased this off of Pinterest. So this is a piece of 8.5 by 5.5 thick Whisper White cardstock. I still am using the Whisper White. I haven't gotten to the basic white yet. Scored at 4 1/4. And then I cut a piece of basic black that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then this piece of DSP, this polka dot paper, is 1 3/4 by 5 inches. So it's 1 3/4 by 5. And then this little strip right here is 1 3/4 by 5. I'm sorry. Yes, 1 3. I'm sorry. Scratch that. It's 3/4 by 5. I can't even read my own handwriting. This one, the polka dot one's 1 3/4 by 5. This one, the diamond one, is 3/4 of an inch by 5. And then all I did was take and cut this out of the paper. All I did was cut it out of the paper, fussy cut it, and put it on here with some glue dots. Stamp this with the stamp set that is one of the free ones that you can get during celebration. And then put some of our black matted dots on it. So we're going to go ahead and make this card. So let's get started. And I'll show you one other thing that I did. So I've got everything pre-cut, so it probably won't take us that long this evening. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is, let me move my stuff out of the way. I'm going to bring my paper trimmer in because I need to start scoring, especially when you're using the thick Whisper White, the thick cardstock. It's always easier when you score it rather than trying to fold it and then do your bone folder. So I'm going to line this up at 4 1/4, because that's where I want it scored. So I'm going to put it right at 4 1/4 on my paper trimmer. The gray mark here is our scoring tool, and this darker one is the cutting tool. So you always want to make sure you get this one out of the way so you don't cut your paper. So we're going to go ahead and score this at 4 1/4. All right, that's all we have to do. And I think that's the only time I'm going to use this paper trimmer. And one thing for any of those that are maybe new to my channel or new to stamping, we do have kits and everything that have everything included. So that might be the way that you might want to start to get started if it's something you'd like to do. And it makes it really easy because your stamps and your ink and everything comes in the kit with all of everything that you need. So, okay, so I've got my base right there. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and line up. I'm going to line up my paper before I glue this down because I'm going to stamp my sentiment. And then I can adjust because I'm going to have this going right up to the top of my Whisper White, right? And then I'm going to put this little strip right here. But I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. So if I get it to a little bit too high, then I can adjust my paper accordingly. So let's go ahead and ink that up. And then we'll go ahead and I'll cut out my flowers. And then we'll get started putting it together. So this is from the, dadgummit, I left it over, what's the free one that says Perfection? This, anyways, I can't remember. I tried to bring everything over here and look at it. I forgot. That's all right. I'll get it before we go. All right, so I'm going to stamp this in the bottom left, right corner. And this is a cling stamp, so it's red rubber. So I'm just going to push down. And we don't rock and roll, which some people tend to do. So we're just going to push and then lift straight up. And there we go. That's not too bad. So we'll go ahead and cover up the ink because you know how that goes. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and attach this. So we're going to use our, oh, can you believe it? I forgot my glue again. Give me just a moment. Of all things, I forgot. Okay. See, I told you I was going to forget something. Approaching perfection. This is a stamp set that you can get for free when you place a $50 order. And it's all about birthdays. So this is a really nice stamp. I've used this quite a bit. Okay, now let's get back. So let's go ahead and attach our, I can't believe I left my glue over there. I even came in here and made sure I had everything ready. Imagine that. Okay, so now we're going to pull in my craft mat. This is a silicone craft mat, which is a must-have for all crafters. It keeps all the glue and stuff getting all over your work surface. And you can use it, and then everything, you can wash the stuff off after you get done. So I'm just going to pull this up. And we're going to attach this. This piece of Whisper White is 3 3/4 by 5. It might be 3 7/8 by 5. And I'm just going to line this piece of DSP right up to the top and edge to edge. So we're just going to lay that right there and get that even. And then one thing good about the Tombow glue, and this is only $4, that glue. It's really nice, even though I don't like it on my fingers. But it works well. And it gives you time to move if you push your paper down and you don't have it in position. It gives you enough, you've got a few seconds that you can pick it up and move it. So it makes it a lot easier. And then we're just going to lay this on here, and I'm just going to put it in the center. And I've got plenty of room because I put now that's a little crooked, but you know what? I don't worry about that stuff, as you all should know that by now, because that's what makes it homemade, right? All right, so we're going to put that there. And then we're going to attach this to our piece of black cardstock. So this is a black and white card. You know, this would be a great card for, like, if somebody's doing a black and white themed wedding. My first wedding I did black and white. I guess maybe that's why it was my first one. I'm just joking. I did do black and white. It was really pretty. But, you know, for a wedding, or it could be, you know, like this, a birthday card, or really anything. It's all in how you want to dress it up, right? Black and white to me looks very sophisticated. So, all right, so we're going to lay that on there. And as you can see, we try to layer everything with about 1/8 of an inch running around the sides. So that's all there. So we're ready with that. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do is I went ahead and cut out the flowers, but now I need to fussy cut these out. So I'm just going to take my paper snips, and I'm just going to run around the lines. And this might take a minute, so I'll just sit and chit-chat with you. I'm just going to follow the lines of the stamp of the image on this paper. So this is another way that we can use up our paper. So if you're not sure what to do with it, you've got some really neat patterns, just cut the things out. And you're going to see where I did that on one of the other papers as well that we're going to use this evening. So you just trim it, and you know, you don't have to be exact, but I'm just going to go around, and this is probably going to take more time than putting the whole card together, but that's all right. It gives me time to chit chat with you guys. So we'll just, anyway, so this, you know, we all buy the paper, right? And then what do we do with it? It sits on the counter or in the drawer or in its little, you know, wherever you lay it. And then we sometimes don't want to use it because it's too daggone pretty. And we're all guilty. I'm pretty sure that we're all guilty of that. I know I am, and I've started trying not to be like that. So I do a lot of one-sheet wonders, which helps because those give you templates. And I've got a lot of those. And I do those because I send out birthday cards to our neighbors and, of course, my customers and friends and family. So if you guys are not on my birthday mailing list, you should message me with your address and the month of your birthday, month and day. I need the day, obviously. You can give me the year if you want, but you don't have to. But I send out birthday cards, and that's just something that I do. And I try to send out cards to our neighbors, especially
because, you know, we're in a, you know, over 55 community, and probably 3/4 of our neighbors are at least 10 to 15 years older than me, and if not more. So, and I'm 62. So we've got a lot of them are like in their low, you know, 70s on up. So, you know, and I send cards out just because we need to keep in touch with everybody. Not that I don't keep in touch, but with the, you know, pandemic, it makes it a little bit more difficult. So, all right, so that's all I did was cut the flower out. So it really didn't take that long. Now you can color this if you want, and but I wanted to leave it all black and white. But that's another thing that you could do is just take a piece of, like we did a card a couple weeks ago where I did the highlight. So we're going to now add our adhesive to this and attach it to our card base. So that's one of the other things you can do is use your blender pens. You could use your markers, or you could use watercolor pencils, whatever. And then just color a portion of the paper, or you could color, you know, a whole section, whatever you want to do. Just use your paper. So that's a great way. And this is a very simple, but, you know, very simple, but I think it's a very simple and elegant card. Okay, so there's that. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And I know this might seem for, you know, a lot of us that tend to do things a little bit more involved, it seems very simple, but, you know, sometimes we need to get back to, you know, sometimes it's nice just to do a very simple card where it's not that difficult. You know what I mean? So, and of course, I like to put lots of dimensionals. These things come 300 to a pack, so can't go wrong with that. All right, so let's peel these backings off, and then we're going to attach this to the card front. And bear with me a minute. They're sticking to my thumb. I guess I put probably a little bit too many on here, but that's all right. That's okay. So I hope everyone's weather is doing better. At least I know ours is in Florida. But I won't rub it in with y'all. It was only up to 80. Okay, so I've got my dimensionals on here, and this just gives it a little bit lift from the paper, from the card. And since this is an open spot right here, I'm going to go ahead and place this right about there. Okay. Now again, you could add some color if you want, but I want to leave everything black and white. Now, one thing that I did do is I'm going to take my light smoky slate pen, blender pen, and I'm gonna, and I know I pop these up, but I'm gonna push my paper down, and I'm just gonna draw a light line around just to give it like a shadow effect, so it looks like it's and I could have done this before I popped it up on the dimensionals, but this works just as well. So I'm just gonna put a little shadowing around it, and I'm gonna turn my card so I can see what I'm doing. And again, I'm just going to go around lightly. I'm not going to try to make a big line, but this will give it the shadow effect. And we're going to come around here. I'm just going to do the whole part that's sitting on the white. And then we'll come here. And this is another way that makes your card kind of pop. I know y'all probably thinking I'm crazy that I'm doing it this way, but you know, I like to live on the edge, so that's what I'm doing. All right, and then we're going to just come a little bit there and then up there. So now if you look, it's barely, you know, you can barely see it, but there's a little bit, looks like it's got a little bit of shadow. You see that? So that's just something else you can do. I mean, it's so light you can't hardly see it, but in person you can tell it looks like there's a shadow there. All right, so that's that. And then we're going to take our black matte dots, which are, I love these things. I hope they stay in the catalog because I really like these. And since we have dots up there, you know, there you go. So I'm gonna put a couple here. I'm gonna put one there. I'm just gonna splatter them. They've got two sizes. We've kind of got like a medium. I guess that's a large, and then the small. So I'll put another small one down here, and then I'm gonna put one. Let's put one. I should be using my take your pick tool, right? That's not very smart of me, was it? And I like using my scissors for some reason. And let's put one right there. Now, when I do that, I always put a, we talked about this before, I always put something like that over top when I put it in the envelope so it doesn't pop through. I know Denise uses her Pepsi can, I guess the Pepsi cartons that it comes in. So she does that. And I got one of her cards right after we had that conversation, one of our Facebook shows here. So anyways, all right, so there's our card. Isn't that pretty? Don't you love that? Very simple, very easy, and it looks very elegant. And then you can write whatever you want on the inside, you can stamp whatever. So there's our first card that we've made. So let me put that up over there. Let me put this stuff over here. Let's see which one I want to do. Let's do this one. Okay, this one, now here's another reason. I didn't buy, which I probably should have, but I didn't. I didn't buy the snail mail stamp, but I have the paper. Isn't this the cutest paper? Let me just open this for those of you that might not have seen this. So I do paper shares every time a new catalog comes out. So I have all the paper. So I've got to find ways to use it up, right? But look at this paper. Isn't this precious? Look at that. It's all snails and mail and hello. And look at all those little funny snails. Isn't that cute? All right, so what I did, and then here's some big mushrooms, and it's got hearts on the back, okay? And then this one has bigger snails. So I cut out 2 snails, and that's what we're going to use. We're going to cut up our paper. We're going to use it up. So I don't have the stamp set for this. I just have the paper, but we've made it work, and I'll show you what we're doing. So I'm using that, and then I'm also using the well-written dies that have 24, I think it's 24. They've got different words like happy, welcome, best wishes, thank you, miss you, flowers, and all sorts of stuff. So that's what I'm using for the sentiment. And I'll show you what we're doing with that. All right, so we're going to use Bermuda Bay. And again, for those that may be new, on the back of our designer papers, it tells you the color. So this is really, Stampin' Up! is my favorite stamping and craft company because it's like dummy proof. We don't have to think about it. They tell you what colors coordinate. So you just go grab the paper, you grab the ink, you grab your markers, you grab it all, and you're good to go. Okay, so this is Bermuda Bay, which is one of the colors. And this is again, 8.5 by 5.5, and we're going to score it, but in this case I'm going to fold it in half at 4 1/4. So let's go ahead and do that. And let me get my stuff. Oh, I got to not lose my little thing right there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and fold this and give it a good burnish with our with our bone folder. My microphone cord is hanging down and it's getting on my nerves. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get it out of my way. No, that's going to get in the way. Hang on a minute. There we go. It was in my way. All right, and now I'm going to use, and we're going to do it, we're going to open it like this one opened this way, correct? Or you could have it open this way. So this card's going to open from up to the top. This one, we're going to set it so it opens like a book, all right? And I'm using a piece of Pool Party, and this is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm using the heart from the Hearts and Kisses stamp set, and I'm going to stamp some hearts in the same color, Pool Party, on the back of this cardstock. And I'm just going to do some randomly. It doesn't have to be a great deal, but I'm just going to stamp them, and some of them, let me get my paper because I'm going to stamp off on a couple. And stamping off just means we're going to stamp off the paper. So I'm just going to randomly stamp some of these on here, because I want this to kind of show through, and you just want to, stamp them and kind of twist, do a little twisty thing, make it look pretty, and no rhyme or reason. So we'll put half there, we'll stamp, let's do this one backwards. We'll put him up there, do that one like this. I got to get in my ink pad, put one here, and then we'll do one over here. See if I can get that down there without probably making a mistake. That's good enough. And we'll put one there. All right, nothing, no rhyme or reason. Just put them on there. Oh, look at that. All my stamps are coming apart. I guess they're old. I've got ink all over my table. Give me 1 second. I gotta get my wipes. Thank goodness I have them, because I'll be wearing this stuff here in just a minute. Sorry, guys. Denise, I still have like 4 packages of these. So give me 1 second so I can wipe this off my table. Well, it's on my paper, but that's all right. At least as long as I don't wear it and get it all over the cards. Good thing I did the white one first, huh? Okay, so let me get my microphone snapped back in here. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on. Maybe I don't need the microphone, but I think I do. Hang on a second. Let me hook this up. I pulled it off because I was getting... There we go. Ah, it's a comedy hour, I tell you. You never know what's happening here in the Shall We Stamp world. Okay, so we got that. All right, so we're going to attach this to the card base like that. All right, now I cut some strips of that paper. Let me get my words up here. And I cut this one, I think I cut a little bit longer than, or wider than I wanted. I don't know what I did with my other little rulers, but anyways. This one I cut at, it's 1 1/4, and the other ones are 1 inch. So this one's a little bit wider, but it's okay. So I just cut them, and I'm just gonna lay them on here. Let me get this out of the way. So I'm just gonna lay it on here randomly. There's no right or wrong way, right? So, and I'm gonna put this little guy in the center because it's got red in the hearts, and you wanna make sure you get your hearts going the right way, that they're not upside down. All right, so I'm gonna lay him like that. And then I've got this one with the mushrooms. I'm gonna have him probably turn just a little bit, and I'm just gonna kind of do it like that and bring him down. This one's at 5 inches, the other ones are at 4, in case you're wondering. So I think I'll do him, probably just do him a little bit more straight. All right, so that's how I'm gonna do it. So I'm just gonna glue everybody down. And again, it's, you know, whatever your heart desires. So here's another back side. This one looks like little postage stamps, right? So we'll just go ahead and attach this. See, I told you these cards are going to be very easy, but sometimes we need to just do some easy, non-stressful stuff, right? So we'll go ahead and put some adhesive on here. And if you're new and you haven't stamped before and you have questions or anything, just reach out, send me a message, let me know. I'll be more than happy to share what little bit I know. So, all right, so I'm gonna put the little heart one a little bit out of an angle. And I think the mushrooms, I think these are so cute. Don't you love these colors? These are all my favorite colors. Bermuda Bay and the red and the pinks. They're gorgeous, and the yellow. And then this one, I think I'm gonna turn him a little bit this way. All right, so there's our, that's how we're gonna do our paper. So again, this is how you can use up your strips, right? Your scraps of paper. And now we're going to wrap. I'm going to wrap some twine around this, our white baker's twine. And I'm going to do this 2 times, pardon me, 2 times again. And we're going to tie a bow. And we're going to cut it. And then we'll tie a bow. And then we'll trim it up. And this always, you know, using the baker's twine always adds, you know, it's just a little something, but it just adds, it just gives it another little pop, you know. So let me, as you guys know, tend to be, when it comes to tying things, a little challenged, bow challenged, but we'll make it work. Okay, so we got our bow, and I'll adjust it in just a minute. Now see, I've got him, well, that's all right, it'll work. So, and you can slide it however you want. So I'm just going to pull my tails up a little bit because my bow is a little bit too big. So hold in the center and then pull down, and then we can readjust it. And then I'll trim those up when I get done because I'm going to play with this once we get it on the card front and try to get my tails to go the right direction. But it might be the way that I tied it, but it's okay. So we'll get it fixed. All right, so let's go ahead and add our adhesive. And I'm going to let me put him down. I'm going to put him a little bit more towards the center. And again, I'm just going to use adhesive on this one. So we'll use our liquid glue. All right, put a little bit there and just put a little bit there. You know, when we live in the humid area, sometimes you have to be careful because sometimes the adhesive doesn't want to stick. So you've got to really make sure, depending on the time of year, you know, you want to make sure you use the right adhesive so it sticks and doesn't lift up. So I'm just moving it again, trying to get it positioned where I want it. All right, and then I'm just going to give it a good press down. All right, now, the next thing I did is I cut the second largest stitch circle die from this Stitch Shapes. Welcome, everyone. Sorry I'm not responding. I apologize. I'm just focused in my work here. So this is the second to largest stitch circle. And then what I did I show you the card that I made? I don't know. Did I show you this one? This is the one I did. I'm so sorry. I didn't show you this one. Okay, so this is the one. I did the stitch squares on this one. And I cut this one out and glued her down. And then this is what I'm using with the dies. I put Miss You since we're sending mail. So that's our original one that I made. I don't remember if I showed that to you or not. My apologies. So that's what we're doing. But this one, I cut out the little man with the, isn't he cute with his little mustache? So since he's kind of round, I'm going to trim him up. We're going to put him on this little guy. So I'm going to trim him. I started trimming him, and I thought, no, I guess I should wait and let you all watch me. Let you all watch me cut his eyeballs out and everything. So I'm just going to cut around like I did on the flowers. So again, another way that you can use up your paper. So I don't have this stamp set, but I can still make cards with it, right? Because I'm going to use this paper, and that's really my focal point, is the paper rather than the stamps. Now I am cutting part of the black off his eyeballs, and I don't mean to do that. So I'm just going to trim this around. But again, it's another way to use up your paper, especially if it's got some fun designs in it. Or you can always cut it and just make it, again, you can use it like we did on here. We're going to make it as part of our card. So I'm thinking, I guess I'm going to leave the little mail things on him because that's really part of who he is. So let's do that. So we're going to trim these up. And we'll get that one. So this way, I'm using my paper, and I don't have the stamp set, which I would. And then my girlfriend told me that I haven't opened my January paper pumpkin. I'm behind. She said there's a snail in that one. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So that'll be good. So it kind of matches. All right, so there's our snail. And we're going to glue him right on here. And he's got a little red bow tie. So I'm going to go ahead and attach him now. And do I want to put, no, I'm going to lay him flat. And then we'll pop the whole thing up on dimensionals. And we'll put little dots for his eyes so that we make sure that they glue down. Okay. And we're going to put him right on the circle. And hopefully we have room to, so let's put him, he might hang off a little bit. Let's put him like that. We'll bring him down just a tad and get his little eyes working. Put him down. Okay, so there we go with that. Now I took the Miss You, I did that one again on this one. I used real red, and I used our adhesive strips. So you lay the cardstock down on the adhesive strip, and then you run it through the die cutting machine with your dies, and then you just peel off. This makes it so much easier, and peel off your backing, and then you just lay it down. So what I'm going to do is I got to first figure out where I want to put him. So I think I'm going to put him right about there. And I think, how are we going to do this? Should I put the U down here? Let's do that. Let's put the U here. And then we'll put the Miss at the top of him. I'm going to poke out the little pieces for the S's. And then this is going to be fun because I've got the little tiny piece for the I. So now look, see, so we don't really have any stamping. We're just doing this. Isn't that cute? All right, so we're going to put that there, and I've got this little tiny piece here, and I'm going to see if I can't get it peeled off. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get that going. And then we're going to put a little, hang on a minute. There we go. I'm going to try to use my, there we go. Got it. So then we've got this little tiny piece for the eye. And we're going to put that right there. That's why it's good using these adhesive. Now, that's probably not what goes for the eye, but that's what we're using. All right. Isn't that cute, though? Miss You. So we're going to put him up on dimensionals as well. So we're going to pop him up. We'll put 4 on here. That's probably about all he needs. So I told you these are going to be quite easy cards. And while I'm doing this, peeling it off, the names that were drawn for last week was Faye Godby and Tina Pearl. Tina Dubois Pearl. She used to be my processor. And Tina comes on every now and then and watches. She's a hoot. So, okay, so we've got our ribbon there. So I'm going to put him right about here. I'm going to have him on top of the baker's twine. I'm going to move my little tail out of the way. And I'm going to place him right about there. Now, you could put him where you want, but it still shows the paper. Isn't that cute? So there's another card. All right. And then, of course, we have our white insert that we want to put on the inside. And then you can write your message. I always put white on the inside of my cards, even if the cardstock is a light color. I just think it makes it, it dresses it up. And then you can always stamp an image if you choose, or, stamp a sentiment inside, or write your personal message, whichever you prefer. So there is our second card. And see how the difference is? One's circle and one's a square. But both of these were fussy cut. We cut them out.
I glued the eyes on the stamped snail from the paper. Oh, you did. Oh, you googly eyed them. How cute is that? I have googly eyes. I should do that. I didn't think about it. All right, so that's our second card. All right, now we're moving on to our third one. Wow, we're moving along. Guys, you're going to be done before 8 o'clock. All right, so the next one we're doing, this is the hydrangea, hang on, let me get the name for it. I brought the paper up here because I thought, Dawn, you need to start telling them what it is. The Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. Isn't this some gorgeous paper? Look at this. I'm going to show you some of these designs here, and then I'll show you what I did. We're going to do a little watercoloring. Isn't this beautiful? Some pale blues. Look at that. The purples. The gorgeous grape, Highland Heather colors, Rococo Rose. Isn't that beautiful? And then that. Isn't that pretty? Now, this piece here happened to be one full sheet that had this design that went all the way across a 12 by 12 sheet. So this is cut, but did you notice, can you see what I put underneath? I put the foil paper. It's the one that has the designs on it. I didn't do the actual foil. This is the Rococo Rose. So I did a Rococo Rose card base. Again, they're all 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I put a piece of the foil. Let me pull that out and show you. Okay, so we have our cardstock here. We're going to go ahead and fold it in half. And let me get this folded and get it lined up. And we're going to do some blending. We're going to do some coloring. And then I'm going to burnish with my bone folder. Get that nice and crisp. Okay, so this is the Rococo Rose. See that foil? Isn't that pretty? Isn't that beautiful? It's just gorgeous. Now, you know, it's kind of hidden, but it gives a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of oomph underneath the thing. All right, so we're not going to glue this down yet because we have to add ribbon too. So this piece, we don't have to do anything. It's already done for us. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that on top of this, and then we'll add our ribbon, and then we'll work on doing our hummingbird. And this is from... it's the free set if you place a $100 order in ink. All right, I'm gonna have to get up and go look. All right, somebody tell me what the name of this is. Oh my gosh. So I didn't bring it over here because I'm not, oh, I guess I do need the stamp set anyways. I tell you what, I'm really not organized. Hang on a minute, let me go get my, I need my bird. I brought everything else but my bird. A touch of ink. See, I got up for a reason. Jeez, I know. Okay, it's a touch of ink. So if you order $100 worth of products, you can choose this out of our celebration. You have now through the end of this month to purchase product, and then you get to choose several different items that you can choose from our celebration catalog. And this is what we call two-step stamping. So those of you that are new, you can either stamp the I call it the blob, but you can stamp this guy, and then you come back and stamp this in the colors on top, and it gives the image of the bird. And the same thing with the leaves and the flowers and the butterflies. This is 17 stamps, and these are what we call photopolymer stamps. So those are ones that are see-through. All right, so let me go ahead and attach this to my foil here. And then we're going to stamp the bird on some watercolor paper, and we're going to do some coloring and try to make him blend in with the colors of the paper. But isn't that gorgeous paper just by itself? I mean, you really don't even have to do anything. You could just send a card just like that. All right, now I'm going to use our gorgeous grape sheer ribbon, and I thought that would be perfect because it pulls in from the colors in the paper. All right, so we're just going to add him on here. And I need to, let me see, I better get my adhesive. Let me get my seal. Good thing my room's not that big, so I don't have to walk far. I like to use the seal when I'm attaching paper, ribbon to paper, because it just holds it better. So I am going to place, as I'm going to wrap this, I'm going to put it from corner. I'm going to try to do it like that. So I'm going to put a little bit right here.
And it doesn't matter because because it's going to get glued on here anyways. And I'll put a strip right there. Okay. So we're going to take this. And this is another way you can help use up your ribbon too, right? Because sometimes we buy ribbon and it sits there and doesn't do anything. And however you want to lay it, I just want a little bit on the corner. So I'm just going to tack it down. And actually I want a little bit more. I want a little bit more of an angle. So hang on a second. Let me do the top part. It'll be easier for me to do it this way. So I'm going to just put a piece right there, and that helps to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to bring it over, and I want it right about there, so I'm going to pull him right there and tack it down. All right, so I think that's good. And I could tighten that up a little bit. My nose is itching, sorry. Let's see if we can pull that a little tighter. Yeah, I think that's better. And I'm going to trim some of this off. I don't want to have all that excess hanging there. I don't need it, so I don't want to add to the bulk. All right, so we'll take that and cut that off. All right, so that is ready to go. All right, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and add this. Let me move my scissors. I got too much stuff over here in the way. All right, so let's go ahead and, since we've used our seal adhesive, let's go ahead and finish it up with the seal. So we'll go ahead and do that. Let me add some to the edges. And got to get it going. If y'all use this seal and you have a hard time getting it to work, take your thumb underneath of it and pull it up. But what I found is once you have a piece that's already started, once it grabs it, it works much better. So just to let you know that. Another tip for the day. All right. So this, we'll make sure we got our card open the right way. We're going to place this right on here. Whoops. So this glue, when you use the seal, you've got to make sure once you get it down, that's where it's going, because this does not give. Okay, so no mess ups with this one. All right, isn't that beautiful? I mean, we could leave it just like that and send that out. Isn't that pretty? I just love this paper. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to stamp, and this is the watercolor paper. So I'm going to use my Memento black ink. Let me get this out of the way. Gosh, the way I'm going with ink, whew, no telling. All right, and the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the bird, just the outline of the bird. We're going to use him. So I'm going to take him out of the packaging and put him on a clear block, which I know I brought one over here. What did I do with it? Is it in front of me? All right, hang on. Y'all, oh, nope, that's not there. What did I do with the block? See, sometimes they they blend in. I know I brought a block over here for him. Well, let's see. Let's see if we can get him on the, did I lose my mind? All right, I have to make a turn. I got to get up one more time. I'm very sorry about this. I know I brought it over here, but I don't know where. I can't find it. Hang on. Nope, he's not here. Hold up. I thought I grabbed one. I know. Girl's crazy. All right, it's okay. I'm really just, trying to keep you here till 8 o'clock. Just joking. All right, so got my bird. I'm going to go ahead and he's a little bit big, so I'm going to use my ink and just, this is the linen ink pad, which is a little bit different from our foam. So I just kind of tap it and do a little twisty just to make sure I get him covered really good. And then we're going to use our watercolor paper and our blender pens, and we're going to color him. And I'm not sure why I always refer to these as males, but I don't know. It's just what I do. All right, so we're going to stamp him on this piece of paper. I'm going to let it sit for a minute for the ink to transfer, and then we're going to fussy cut this one out too. So there's a lot of fussy cutting. But these cards are just so easy. And using up our designer paper, what a great way, right? All right, so we've got him stamped. Okay, and I'm going to bring in my blender pens, and I'm trying to pull the colors that are in the paper. So I have the Rococo Rose, and I have Granny Apple Green. I have my Daffodil Delight, and I have, excuse me, hang on one second. The dark Seaside Spray. Do I really want dark? Let me think about this. I don't know if I want dark or not, but I think I do. Okay, so I'm just going to color. I am going to start out, I'm using the Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to color my Daffodil Delight, the big tip. I've used it so much that I can't get the ink to come through. So I have to use a little tip. So this is the light, and I'm just going to color his head in yellow, and I'm going to do right about here. I should have passed it. And then I'm going to color, I'm trying to think if I want to do, yeah, I think I will. I think I'm going to do a little bit of yellow in the wings, just a little bit, so that when I do the granny apple, it's not so greenish, if that makes sense. I do this a lot with the old olive, so I'll just put a little bit there. All right, so, and then I'm going to come back with the granny apple, and I'm going to use my fine point, and I'm just going to do some coloring, and I'm going to add some blue on his wings too. So I'm just going to add a little bit of granny apple, and I think I'll leave that part blue, and I'm just going to put some green here. We'll just make these wings green, and I probably should have let those be blue, huh? Well, we'll just make those blue. We'll put a little green right there. That'll be fine. We're just going to make it what we want it to be. And let's put a little green there, and let's put a little green right there. And however you want to color this, right? There's no right or wrong way. Whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm going to come back with my blue, and this is the dark Seaside Spray. And I'm going to just color parts of the wings that I didn't color the first go round. I'm just going to kind of color these in. He's going to be a colorful birdie. Let's color these wings here. And then I'm going to color this part of him blue. I'm not sure why he's blue and yellow, but that's how we're making him. Okay. It's my bird, and I'm coloring him the way I want him to look like. All right, so we'll do a little bit more blue. It's still pretty, though. Okay, now I'm going to come in with my Rococo Rose, and I am going to, I didn't mean to put yellow there, so we're going to just color right over that. And this is the light color, believe it or not. Isn't that's dark for light, isn't it? But this is the light Rococo Rose, so I'm going to make his belly pink. He's just going to be a colorful bird. He's just full of love and lots of color. And we're just going to color his tail feathers. We're going to make them pink, because we just want to pull all the colors together. He's a rainbow bird. All right, and I think that's good. Let me just come back a little bit on the yellow. Let's try to darken up his head just a little bit. Just a little. All right, and then I'm going to come back a little bit with the granny apple. I just want to do a little bit darker. Give him a little bit more color. I'll do it like every other one, so it's not quite as, give it a little bit of contrast there. All right, and let's do one more of the blue. This one didn't pick up very good. So you just keep coloring until you get whatever color you want, right? And then we'll just do this a little bit. I'll color right here, give him some shadowing. All right, so that's all we're going to do. So that's all the coloring. And now we're going to, I was not sure I like the hydrangea paper, but this is cute. Oh, I know. It's really pretty. I mean, it's got so many colors to it. I'm going to fussy cut this out because this set does not come with a die. But it's just gorgeous. I mean, and if you just use the paper by itself, you've got so much more, you can just do so much more with it. And I didn't buy the stamp set either, only because, well, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm assuming, most of the time when the items come out in the catalog, they retire at the end of the catalog, and then I have a lot of inventory that I sell on I have an Etsy store that I sell my retired stuff on. But it's just it's, you hate to buy something and only use it a few times, right? So I try to buy the sets that I know that I think I'll be able to do a lot more with, because they're more my style. Not that this isn't my style, but anyways. I don't buy all the sets. One, I can't afford it, and two, I just don't like to not be able to use them all. So I'm just cutting around the bird, cutting around his head, and there's one thing I do want to show you, which I forgot to bring it, so I'm going to have to go get that too. I know, crazy, huh? I'm getting my exercise. My dog doesn't want to walk. I think I've mentioned that to y'all before. She just decides she wants to go walk around the loop, come in and eat. So, and I'm not getting my steps in. I was doing at least 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day because we were walking 30 minutes in the morning, 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'd walk during the day 2 or 3 times. And now she decides she doesn't want to do it, and she's getting to be a little porky. I'm calling her Porky, because she's getting plump. Her little belly is just hanging down. I'll have to pick her up and show y'all how my little baby. But she's laying on her Aunt Amy's blanket that she made her. But anyway, so I'll just use the excuse that I have to get up and get my marker so that I can get my steps in. Now I did do, when was it? Oh, yesterday. Was it yesterday? Or the day before? It might have been yesterday morning. Or no, it might have been Sunday. I had to repot one of my plants. I have a Norfolk Island pine, and the daggone, I had a Mexican pot, and it fell over and broke. I was so disgusted. And anyways, I had to clean up, and the lanai was, we have a pool, and it was just dirt everywhere. So I had to get out there. So between me hosing it down and just trying to get all the dirt off of there, I got my steps in. So that was pretty good. So you got to do what you got to do to get your steps in, right? All right, hang on one second. Let me get my marker. I'm going to show you another trick. But y'all might be aware of this, but I learned this. Ouch, as you see my head coming through. All right, hang on a minute. Let me put my microphone back on. Okay, so I've got the bird cut out, and you can see some of the white around the edges, right? So take your black marker and just go along the edges like this, and just it kind of hides the white, and that way it doesn't look, kind of starkish. So we're just going to go around like that so you don't see the white. Isn't that pretty clever? So just go right on the edge. You're not, just the edge of the marker, so that you don't see the white. Like right here on his tail feathers, you might not be able to see it, but I can see it. So I'm just gonna, and it just kind of cleans it up, so it doesn't look, like you've got white sticking out. So I'll just do a little bit of his tip, so you can see it right there. So I'll just, and I could come back with a Rococo rose and color that, which I probably will. But just take it and rub it along the edges. Look at that. See how it covers it? And then I'll do the beak. His little what do you call this thing? Is it a beak? I assume it's a beak, right? All right, so that kind of takes it. See how it kind of brings and covers up the white? And then all I got to do is I'll just take my my marker where I colored, and I'll just come back and color the areas that are sticking out with the color. And I'll just touch them up here with the blue. And then I'll come back with the granny apple, and we'll just do the same thing on the green ones, and then you won't see anything. Isn't that cute? All right, and that's if you just, if you're don't want the white showing. If you don't have a problem with it, then I wouldn't worry about it, but that's just something else that you can do. All right, so there we go. There's our bird. And now we're going to pop him up on dimensionals like everybody else. Got to pop him up because it makes him look pretty. And we'll put 3 on him, and we'll put 1 on his wing. All right, so we're going to put him, and this is just a cute card. So there you go. If you don't have the paper, you need to get some. And you can be cutting away, making all sorts of paper. Hang on a minute, I got this guy showing. Let me lift him up because we don't want to see the dimensional. You get him back on his wing. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to put him like this. Like, let's see, is he coming in for a landing? Like he's getting ready to. Let's put him like about like that. How's that? Like he's getting ready to go over there to that. Let me think. How do we want him? Let's put him like he's flying in. We'll just put him like that. All right, so there's that. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to make this a birthday card. So I'm using the birthday wishes out of the Make Me a, what is it? Oh God, Handmade Card. What's that stamp set? Oh my God, I'm terrible. I'm telling you, when you hit 60, you fall apart. I hope those of you that are 60 and older, can you relate to that? I swear. I can't remember stuff half the time. I don't know what it is. All right, we're going to stamp this in black, and I think I got too much on here, so let's see. Let me clean this off and try it before I wipe that on there, because it looks like it's going to be too dark. So let me just lightly tap. All right, so we're going to put him right about here. We're going to punch this out. using our classic label punch. So we're going to put birthday wishes. Gosh, now it's going to drive me crazy thinking about the name of that stamp set. Something card. Oh, here's a card. I think that's the name. Here's a card. Okay, so we're going to use our classic label punch. And I'm just going to lay it in here, line it up so that we can see. Make sure that it's straight. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to do this with... All right, and I think we're good because I don't want to cut off the Y. So we're just going to punch that down. All right, and then we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of this, and we'll do, let's do the little baby ones. They would probably be fine, but let's just do 3. We'll do 3 mini dimensionals. That way we don't have to worry about them showing. Well, that one doesn't want to stick, so let's take him back. Let's get another one. Okay. Put him there. All right. Okay. So if Tina Dubois Pearl is on here or Faye Godby, I have your addresses, so you don't need to let me know. I'll get your cards out to you. And those that want the last week before, I don't think I sent those out, so I will get those out to you as well. It's been a little crazy. I'm not sure why. You would think that, you know, sitting around not doing a whole lot. But there's always something to do, retired or not, you know. So I think I'm going to lay this right down here, kind of towards the bottom. And I could have done it in a different color. The black is probably a little bit too stark for it. But there you go. There's our other card. And then we'll take this one. Now, I could stamp another image from this set. You know, I could stamp the hummingbird on the inside. So let's, and just put a little one there. But for now, I'll just go ahead and we'll just attach this. I may stamp something. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Let me get this in there, and then I'll pull the cards back in. And if you all are interested, I'll keep you posted on the Zoom thing. I'm thinking I might just, in addition to this, but I think maybe once or twice a month I might do a Zoom class where you can come and just we'll stamp together. Yeah, we'll do our thing, bring your own supplies, and we'll make stuff, and we'll just hang out. Okay, so here are the 3 cards that we made this evening, all using our designer series paper. So we tried to limit the stamping to really just sentiments for the most part. So here's the snail mail. Isn't that cute? And I'll trim up the tails. And then here's our black and white card. I really think that is really gorgeous. Don't you agree? Which one is your favorite? Leave me a comment. Let me know which one is your favorite. Isn't that cute? So don't forget to comment, and so this is a good time to comment and let me know what your favorite card is that we made, because your name will go into a drawing and you could be the lucky winner of these 3 gorgeous cards. All right, it's 8:01. I'm going to turn back so you can see me. I think we did pretty good considering I had to get up 4 times. All right, see you later, Denise. Okay, everyone, thank you again for spending Tuesday with me. I greatly appreciate it. My craziness in my room. I swear I thought I was organized, but never fails. So, anyways, make sure you leave a comment, share my video, share my post if you don't mind. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me reach out and meet new people. And don't forget, you can go to Shall We Stamp on YouTube if you want to see how to make this explosion card. And the explosion card, I don't know if y'all saw it, who just joined. Anyways, so have a great week, and I will see you all have a great Valentine's Day too, and I will see you all next Tuesday. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.